Does your hoodie have pocket space like this? Meet the Bearskin Tactical Hoodie. Designed with 6 pockets, it's loved by thousands of men across the world. Why?
Reported that at least 15 students were injured and 1 child had died. The tourism minister of Cuba has informed that no foreigners were killed or injured in the blast. Police and rescue workers tried to prevent devastation in nearby government buildings, which include the historic Capitol building.
Siento una explosión seca, una sola, ¡pum! Y veo que los cristales empiezan a rajarse y a caer. Y de momento una nube blanca de polvo que no me dejaba. Entonces lo que atiné fue cerrar la cabina de cristal que estaba aquí pegadita y salir en contra de donde venía el peligro para acá.
Havana had just begun opening up to tourists after the pandemic that had put a halt on the island's travel sector. The hotel, housed in a century-old building, was closed and only workers were inside at the time of the explosion. The workers were at the site making preparation to open the hotel for tourists in a few days. The Saratoga Hotel was remodeled by a British company after the fall of the Soviet Union, and for many years it was considered the place to stay by visiting government officials and celebrities in the capital. While it had lost some of its shine with the opening of the new hotels in Havana, it was still considered a 5-star venue. Now, in the backdrop of local elections in the United Kingdom, the leader of the UK's opposition Labour Party will face a police probe into whether a campaign gathering in 2021 breached lockdown rules or not. Keir Starmer, who has served as the country's top prosecutor, was the one who led calls for UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's resignation after the Partygate scandal surfaced, where the staff in the Prime Minister's Downing Street office had thrown a birthday party celebration for the UK Prime Minister. But now, along with Johnson, it is also the Labour opposition party leader who will face investigation on the so-called Beergate event, which took place in April of 2021, where the opposition leader was pictured drinking a beer in an office with colleagues. In a confirmation statement, the Durham police said that an investigation into potential breaches of COVID-19 regulations related to Starmer's gathering are being conducted. This comes after the local police had previously concluded that no offence had been established. But the so-called Beergate scandal emerged again after the Durham police said that it had received significant new information over recent days that compelled them to reopen the investigation. However, in his defense, the opposition leader has asserted that the gathering did not contravene rules against indoor gatherings since he was working, further saying that they will abide by the ongoing probe. Now, what is interesting is that the announcement comes just a day after the local elections, in which Johnson's party lost almost 500 seats and control of 11 councils, as a result of a series of Johnson's unpopular scandals. Now, remember when Johnson was under police investigation, Starmer called it, and I quote, a mark of shame, and vehemently demanded for his resignation. And now it looks like the tables have turned.
Or would you just do it?
It has been 72 days since Russia invaded Ukraine, and 10 weeks later, the United Nations Security Council has unanimously adopted its first statement since Russia's military action on the 24th of February. In a statement, the UN Security Council expressed deep concern regarding the maintenance of peace and security of Ukraine. It is also to be noted here that the Security Council statements are agreed upon by consensus. The brief text was adopted on Friday and was drafted by Norway and Mexico.
The adoption of the PRST today shows that the Security Council is united in supporting the United Nations and his Secretary General in finding a diplomatic solution. Both our countries continue to call for an immediate cessation of hostilities. Preventive diplomacy and mediation have been at the top of Norway's and Mexico's cross-cutting priorities in our work at the United Nations.
The statement further says, and I quote, "The Security Council recalls that all member states have undertaken, under the Charter of the United Nations, the obligation to settle their international disputes by peaceful means." Apart from this, the Security Council also expressed support for the efforts of the Secretary General in the search for a peaceful solution, further requesting UN Chief Antonio Guterres to brief the Council in due course.
The war in Ukraine is causing unimaginable suffering of the entire population of Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians desperately need humanitarian protection and assistance, as we all heard from the Secretary General yesterday. Norway and Mexico have initiated a presidential statement from the Security Council that has been scheduled for adoption this afternoon, and which we now did right now. It is important that the UN Secretary General has the full backing of the Security Council for his effort towards a peaceful